Hi guys, it's Alyssa. I am back. So today's reading is what kind of connection is this? Soulmate, twin flame, karmic, etc. I don't think that it's always necessary or even possible to neatly categorize the connections that we experience with other people. So I try not to get too hung up on, labels and stuff like that. But I thought this would be an interesting topic and I thought it would be fun. Okay? So just remember, these are general readings anyway. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. You guys know how it is. So we have 4 piles today. I'm going to be keeping these readings kind of short, hopefully. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I haven't looked at the cards, so I don't know what is in these piles, but just take a moment, think about the person that you want to know about, and I will let you choose your pile. Okay, guys? Alright, so let's get these out of the way, and we will start with pile number 1, shall we? Pile 1, what kind of connection are you experiencing with the person that you are thinking about right now? Okay, so your first card is Unrequited Love. It says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Now, I very rarely interpret this card literally. A lot of times I just see this as somebody being unable to reciprocate for some reason, any reason at all, not necessarily just because of a lack of feelings, okay, or a lack of attraction. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the Journey, okay, number 13, the Journey. This card is about transformations, okay. This does correspond to the Death card in the traditional tarot, so we have endings, we have transitions. Something ending so that something new can begin. Oh, and then we have new life. Okay, so we have death, and then we have new life. Interesting. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and death again. Oh, cool. Okay, so let's see. What kind of connection are you experiencing with your person, pile 1? So the 9 of Pentacles in this deck talks to me about obsessiveness, okay, and the Page of Pentacles, it has a little bit of like a toxic energy to it. You can kind of see in this image, this guy is like pouring this drink down this woman's throat and she looks like pretty out of it, so it's kind of questionable like what's going on in this image. So I just get like a like a kind of a toxic kind of energy, like well, okay, maybe not toxic necessarily, but okay, I think what's happening here is that this is a connection that has there's a lot of like magnetism going on. There's a lot of borderline obsessiveness, okay? I feel like this is something that you think about pretty much constantly, that your person probably thinks about pretty much constantly, and not always in a good way, okay? However, there is something transformative about this connection because we have death twice and we have the new life card, which is about new beginnings. Okay, so I want to say, but then the Unrequited Love card tells me that there's something going on within this connection that is preventing the two of you from having like stability or a balanced relationship, something like that. There's something that is creating a rift between you. So I'm honestly getting like kind of the early stages of like a twin flame connection, to be honest with you. Because I know not every twin flame journey is the same, you know, they're all unique to some extent, but a lot of people, I think, when you first meet your twin, it's like you just kind of obsess over them for a while. Because they're so unlike anybody that you've ever met before, and it's a connection that feels different from anything you've ever experienced before. And you know, the fact that there's something that's keeping the two of you apart, plus the like transformative aspect. You know, the point of the twin flame journey is to help you to ascend, you know, like achieve spiritual ascension and grow as a person, etc. I feel like this is like the early stages of a twin flame journey. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you just recently met this person. But what I am getting is that even if you've known this person a long time, I feel like the two of you are still kind of in that initial phase where it's like, you know, like I said, like borderline obsession and separation and that kind of thing. Okay, so group 1, that's your reading. I told you I was going to keep these kind of short, so that's the messages I've got for you, group 1. I feel like this is probably a twin flamey kind of thing, okay? So I hope this reading resonated with you, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this reading. I do love to hear from you guys. I really like hearing how the readings apply to your specific situations. So don't be shy to leave me comments, you know, talking about that. I find it really interesting reading them. So yeah, group 1, that's your reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you next time. Okay, group 2. Let's see what kind of connection you're experiencing with your person of interest. We have the separation card. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. We have number 10, the wheel. This is the Wheel of Fortune. We have regeneration. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Okay. So you guys, with the separation card being here, I feel like this is someone that is probably not really in your life right now. There's not much of a presence, at least not much of a physical presence in your life. You might have little or no contact with this person. You guys could go... Sorry, let me back up. It could be that there have been periods of togetherness and then periods of separation throughout this relationship, because the wheel does talk about cycles. And the regeneration card is kind of like, even when this connection seems like it's basically dead in the water, it's like somehow it always keeps coming back to life, okay? And if you haven't really experienced that yet, this is a sign that it is going to come back to life eventually. We also have the Ace of Swords. This talks about new beginnings, so, you know, coming back to life. Also, like, coming back to life in kind of a different capacity, the relationship being a bit different than it was before. Each time, maybe like each time you come back together, things have changed a little bit, or when you do come back together, things will have changed, okay? Because I see the sword as like cutting away all of the crap that isn't necessary, all of the things that don't serve you. The Three of Wands, this card talks to me about waiting, Okay, so I feel like for a lot of you, this is someone who has maybe been out of your life now for a decent amount of time. Okay, maybe this is someone that you are waiting for to come back, or you were waiting for to come back. Maybe you've decided to move on for now. Whatever the case, I just feel like this is something where this is like a situation that's really being heavily divinely guided, okay? So this waiting energy is here because so far it hasn't been the right time for the two of you to come together, okay? And so this energy is giving me like twin flamey or high level soulmate kind of energy, because of like the separation aspect and the cycles and the divine guidance and that kind of thing, which is interesting because pile 1 also made me think twin flame, but this is like a different stage, or how do I want to say this? This is like a, for this one, it feels like you guys maybe are a little bit further along on your journey than pile 1 was, so to speak. It's just, the energy is different in general, but I feel like the connection is basically the same. Like, I feel like this is a twin flame kind of thing as well. These are just general readings, so, I mean, this isn't like, this doesn't mean that this person is definitely your twin flame, but like, I would say if you already have reason to believe that that's the case, then I feel like this would be a good confirmation. If that thought has never crossed your mind before, then this probably is not your reading. But the Knight of Cups being here, this tells me that there is a lot of like love within this connection, like unconditional love, okay, which does come about, you know, when there are high level soulmates involved, because it's kind of like, you know, you are one and the same, you know what I'm saying? Loving them is a lot like loving yourself. So, yeah, group 2, I feel like this is another twin flame kind of thing. So I hope this resonates with you, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. If it didn't resonate, better luck next time. Maybe try a different pile, see what you get. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you next time, pile 2. So, okay, pile 3. Let's see what you guys have. What kind of connection are you going through? Okay, so the first card we have is deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So, this doesn't necessarily mean that somebody in this relationship is being deceptive. This might just mean that maybe this is a connection that, okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm getting that for some of you, this is like, they're just saying that this connection is not what it seems, or it's not what you think it is, or, okay, let me check what these other cards are. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups, generosity. We have by the book, number 11. And we have the Hermit, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, interesting. This could definitely be a karmic connection, because we do have the Eight of Cups here, which talks about walking away from something. And typically karmic partners don't stay together forever. You know, usually once you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn from one another, you go your separate ways, because there's not really any reason for you to be involved with each other anymore. But that's not to say that karmic partners always split up, because sometimes they do stay together. But the Hermit card, this card is about like contemplation, reflection. So this is making me think that this is a connection that is meant to make you do some introspection. So I do feel like there's something about this, like the purpose of this is to make you grow a little bit, okay? To kind of push you to evolve a little further, so to speak. I just feel like, the point of this is to make you really like evaluate who you are and what you value and that kind of thing, okay? So definitely there's some learning experience to be had here, okay? Also we have the Nine of Swords, which tells me that there is some conflict, or there probably will be some conflict, probably as a result of this, you know, moving away from one another. Now, I'm not saying, of course, these are general readings, so I'm not saying that you and the person you're thinking about are definitely going to walk away from each other. I don't know that, okay? You'd have to get like a personal reading to get the details on your specific situation, but definitely, like, either way, whatever the case is, I think that there's going to be, you know, moments within this relationship that are going to be difficult. But the point of these difficulties is, like I said, to prompt you to do some introspection, okay? Prompt you to do some growing. But this isn't all bad, not by any means. We do have the Nine of Cups. This card is about, like, the traditional meaning of this card. It relates to, like, wish fulfillment, okay? In this deck, it's about generosity, so I'm seeing, like, you know, I am seeing a balanced relationship, at least initially, or, yeah. I feel like this is something that would or could last for a decent amount of time, maybe a few years, at the least. And during that time, I do feel like this would be something that would be overall a very positive experience. You know, we have By the Book. This card is about, like, taking the path of least resistance. This card is about, you know, just living your life day by day. Nothing big, nothing major going on. Just, you know, living your life, being happy, doing the things you do, okay? So I do feel like that, for the most part, this would be something that would be like, I mean, just like a normal relationship for the most part. Something that would bring you a lot of stability and a lot of happiness in general. But because of this, like, emphasis on reflection, okay, that's what's making me think karmic, okay? And also, like, keep in mind that sometimes, you know, certain people can play multiple roles in your life. So, you know, you could meet somebody who is both a karmic partner and, you know, some other type of soulmate, or, you know, a life partner. Karmic partners are just people that are put on your path so that you can learn something, right? That's pretty much like the general consensus of what the purpose of karmic connections is. And like I said, karmic partners don't always have to split up. You know, sometimes they do stay together. So I'm not saying that you and this person are definitely going to end up walking away from each other, but I do feel like there is a karmic element to this connection, and that aspect of this connection is very important, okay? So, group 3, that's your reading. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that this resonated with you. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear how the readings apply to your specific situations. And if this reading didn't resonate with you, then the message probably wasn't for you to hear. So better luck next time, or maybe try picking a different pile. I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, though. I hope I see you next time. It's time for group 4. Group 4, what kind of connection is this? Oh my god. Yes, this is your soulmate. We have the soulmate card. So, do we even need to look at the other cards? Probably. We should, probably. Let's see. We have the stag. So, the stag, this corresponds to the strength card in the traditional tarot. And some people do see the strength card as a soulmate card. I usually don't, but, you know, some people do, and okay, we got breathe. Okay, this card is about, like, meditation, contemplation, peace, serenity, good stuff, good vibes. We have the Page of Swords, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Queen of Cups. Awesome, guys. So, the Hierophant card, this card is about stability. This card can indicate marriage. It can also talk about, like, institutions, religious, educational institutions, etc. But I feel like here it's mostly just talking about the potential, like, marriage aspect, you know, the commitment of, or the potential for commitment that is present here in this connection. I feel like, so obviously this is like a soulmate thing, okay? I feel like this is probably, I just feel like this is a connection that is, for the most part, like, pretty easy to navigate. I feel like this is just somebody that you just connect with, like, so easily, so on such a deep level. You know, Queen of Cups can talk about, like, psychic connections. The Queen of Cups is thought to be, you know, very intuitive. So I do feel like you and this person really just click. You really just vibe with each other, and that's, like, a beautiful thing. You know, when you met this person, it probably felt like you knew them forever. I just feel like this is someone that you get along with really well. And this is probably someone that you can just talk to about anything. I feel like the two of you probably have, like, really good communication, which is awesome. And I don't know, I feel like this, I'm kind of getting from this card that this person is just sort of like a shelter in the storm of life. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the whole energy of this reading is just very peaceful and serene, and I love it, and I want that. But I just see this as being, like, a very, you know, no frills, no complications, like, soul mate connection, okay? And that's really all I can say about this. That's really all I've got for you guys. I said at the start that I was going to keep these readings short, so there you go. This is definitely a soulmate. Okay, guys. So, pile 4, that's your reading. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. If you have any suggestions for future pick a card readings, please let me know what they are. I'm always interested to hear you guys' ideas. Thank you so much for watching pile 4. I hope I see you next time, guys. Bye!